live episode of the podcast. Listen, I'm so grateful to have you all on today. Listen, we're gonna try to make sure we on all platforms, but listen, we doing it. And so listen, like I said, I am your girl. Oh, and we cooking. We cooking. I'm your girl, Bracia Owens Mount, aka Kiss Bible, and we have a special guest, guys. Listen, man, can I tell you, Courtney's supposed to have been on this podcast for I don't know how long, since last season, and then we supposed to come on like 3 weeks ago, and then I was out of town. I'm like, girl, I ain't gonna do it today. So I'm just so it just the stars aligned, and God is real for her to be able to come on today. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I need y'all a round of applause. Courtney's, I ain't gonna say your whole last name because I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but
Courtney
Courtney.
Nicole.
Courtney Nicole is on. So let me bring her on to the stage. Let me bring her on to the stage. Where my clapping noise? It's supposed to be a clapping noise, but I don't know. It's there. But yes, Courtney, welcome in. Welcome in. So Courtney, listen, she is a
Yeah.
fashion girly. She is a fitness girly. She is a faith-based girly. She's a PK. Courtney, tell the people who you are, what you do, all that good stuff. You feel me?
Yeah. So, hi, everybody. My name is Courtney Nicole, and I am a certified NASM, NASM personal trainer right now. I actually just transitioned, did a huge transition from my career in fashion. I worked in fashion nonprofit. Fashion has always been a passion of mine. However, fitness is really close and near and dear to my heart. I was an athlete growing up, so health
What
and
sport?
wellness is part of him.
What sport did you play?
I ran track. So I ran track, and I played basketball. Shout out to my dad. My dad was my basketball coach growing up, and I got to a point where I'm like, basketball is like I didn't think it was feminine enough, so I kind of stopped. But I could ball though for real.
Okay, okay, I see. Listen, you got a track booty, so that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I kind of do.
Hell, the track girlies. I'm like, see, I should have did that dang on track. Okay, I didn't mind it just cut up here like that, but I ain't tripping. We rocking what we got. Amen.
Listen, we rocking what we got.
Come on. But thank you so much for joining us today, Courtney. I know, like I said, it's been a long time coming. You feel me? So this is
Hmm.
just dope. That having you on today, and like Courtney and I, even before we got on, y'all, we was just talking. I was like, girl, let me press the button so we can just go ahead and talk on here. You feel me?
Hmm.
I'm just so grateful how I even met you was with through a fashion nonprofit, and hey, they put me in with you. I was like, oh, I like her,
Yes.
and I said, okay,
I
yeah,
knew you was my sister the day I met you. And it was crazy because how I was introduced to you, I'm like, okay, cool, I'll reach out to her. We'll schedule a meeting. And the day, I think we had a phone call first.
probably.
And then you came into the office. And I was like, oh no, this is my sister for real. And ever since then, we've been locked in. And that was 2022. That was in 2022.
Oh
And
wow,
you came and you did a program. You were like, listen, I really want to do this workshop. And you did the Paper Bag Chronicles workshop. And
and got
I think
paid.
it was and
First
you
time.
got paid. I had to make sure I like to take care of my people.
Amen.
Here go my church girl in me. The labor is worthy of his hire. So,
Amen.
I believe people are, with talents and gifts, like they need to be paid for those talents and gifts. They deserve that for pouring out into other people. So from that moment on, yeah, we've been locked in. It's been 4 years.
I know that's crazy. And we both were transplants to Columbus because you from
Hmm.
PA, right?
Yep, I'm from Erie, Pennsylvania, born and raised. This would be my, ooh, Lord Jesus, this would be my 13th year in Columbus.
Oh wow.
Yeah, girl, 13 years in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, yeah. See, I had left shy of 10. Like 1.5, 2 years shy of 10 years in Columbus. I said, well, the Lord said, get on up out of here. And I said, okay.
Hmm.
We out. But listen, this is, yeah, when I met you too, it was just like, yeah, it was just synergy. It was just like good vibes. And it was just like, yeah, it's like I need somebody on the inside and you was that person on the inside. And it was like an intentional person on the inside. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just really
Hmm.
grateful to have been connected to you. You feel me? Maybe, listen, such a time as this, maybe you was there for me to meet you there. You never know.
Yes,
You never
yes, yes.
such
And
a time.
and that is actually, no, I'm not gonna take over. Go ahead, girl.
No, no, no,
Because I
no.
was about to start going in.
Yes, no. I mean, that's real. I mean, we gonna talk about the question, y'all. But listen,
Hmm.
when faith-based girls get together, she's a PK, I'm a DK. My daddy's a deacon. You feel me? So listen, so when we get together, it's like we have to talk about the goodness of the Lord and how He really moves in our
Mhm.
lives. You feel me? So, like I said, at the story of Esther, such a time as this, maybe
Yes.
you were there for me to meet you there. You never know.
Hmm.
Okay, what was you about to say?
And so I was gonna say something along those lines, like, even though I'm not there anymore, I'm grateful for being there. I had breakfast this morning with someone that I actually met through my previous employer,
Hmm.
and we were talking, and I was like, honestly, I'm so grateful that I met you, and my purpose there may not have necessarily been what I thought it was.
Mm.
However, my purpose was to connect with like-minded people,
Hmm.
so that once I left or once I transitioned into my next, that those people will come with me in my journey in life. And then I also believe too, I was there to be a light and pour into other people, through the programs that I ran and through just interactions with people. Because in the fashion industry, as you know, there's not many. I won't say there's not many like believers and people who believe in the Lord, but
It's
there
a
aren't many people who shine their light like for real. You know what I'm saying?
vanity based
And
industry. So it's kind of like
yeah.
it's vanity based. So they're looking at themselves. It's kind of selfishly motivated industry, right? And
Hmm.
when you get people who aren't looking at it in that light, it's very rare. It is very rare.
No, it is very, and I'm like, okay, no, I'm supposed to be a light in this industry. And hopefully, like, I was able to like be that for people. But and again, I thank God for that experience, but I also thank God for this new chapter that I am embarking on and that I'm in right now. And that was my purpose then, right? I feel like we
Hmm.
move through life with, yes, we have one purpose and we have one calling, but like along our purpose journey, we have assignments.
Yeah,
And so
I totally
for
believe.
that 4 years I was there, well, almost shy of 4 years, that was an assignment. And I look at it with it at it like, hey baby.
Oh, you gonna make an appearance?
Girl, I look at it like, okay, assignment complete. Okay, guys, so what's next? And
Yeah.
so I'm excited for it's not even what's next, what's now. It's
Mm.
what's
You see,
now.
you jumped
It's
right on.
what's now.
You jumped right on into it. I said, okay, yes, Courtney. Like I was saying,
Mhm.
praying for time management and stewardship of the time and funds. It's just like, yo, that's real. That's so real. And that just brings me to the question of the day, which is the topic of conversation is the topic of the podcast episode was purpose has a design language. When you hear the phrase, excuse me, shh, we're not talking. We can talk. When you hear the phrase purpose has a design language, what does that mean to you personally?
Hmm. Purpose has a design language. Like that's powerful. I don't know how you came up with that, but when I think of that, when I think about design, right?
Hmm.
Purpose is a design within itself, right?
Hmm.
It makes me go back to again, here I go, like I guess I can't like get the church out of me. It
I be
makes me think
trying to
about no, girl, cause I be trying to be politically correct, but
and professional, like you are no longer in that realm. You can speak
you
on him.
right.
Come
No,
on.
you right. I could speak on him. It makes me think about the book of Jeremiah where God is speaking to Jeremiah and he's saying, before I knew you, I called you. So like
Mm,
even before we were a thought or like a manifestation on the earth, like we were designed and created for something,
yeah.
right? And I think the number one thing that we were designed for, I mean, this is what I believe for myself.
Hmm.
We were designed for to glorify God. That's number one in
Hmm.
the earth. And we were designed to glorify God through our natural talents, abilities, and the things that He placed on the inside of us. So when I think about purpose as a design, like it was already predestined, it was already designed for us before we were in this earth, like what we were supposed to do.
Hmm.
Um, and I think it's everybody has different vehicles that they do that through. It's really interesting because every assignment, I don't want to call it a job, every assignment that I've like had in my career history has had to deal with helping people get to their next in one way or another. Girl, I know, ain't that deep right there? And so I'm like, okay, Lord, like I'm called to like I'm really truly called to serve other people, right? And help people really understand what their potential is, right? Pour
Mm-hmm.
into them and push them into their purpose. And so,
Mm.
when I first came to Columbus, I did that through nonprofit work. And I told myself, like, I will never work for another nonprofit again, ever. And I know, right? Kind of crazy. And then I went into corporate, and I did facilitating and training of new hires. And I saw myself on a trajectory to do corporate training. That's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And you know, again, I was still helping people, pouring into people to help them get to their next career level.
Yeah.
I worked in, long story short, I worked in for-profit education, so helping people get to their education goals. And then, after that, COVID hit, and I, kind of was like, okay, Lord, what am I gonna do right now? And the opportunity to do contract work, I was still helping people through that contract work with building programs and things in an online platform. I'm kind of skipping around, but which leads to my latest, where I met you, my last job.
Yeah.
I was helping people connect to their careers in fashion, as well as help them find the resources to fully launch their brands. And like that was a beautiful opportunity that I had. And
Yeah.
shout out to all the people that I met, all the brands. Like, I don't know if anybody is watching this that I know from there. Like, I love all of y'all. Like,
I
y'all are
mean,
like my babies.
this
They
is
are my babies.
this is streaming on LinkedIn, and a lot of people from your previous employer are on LinkedIn that I follow. A lot.
Oh, period.
Yeah. So, gratefulness is a thing, and I feel like
Yes.
a, a strong attitude about that. Like, with you hitting me up about it, I was like, "Hey, this great God is
Hmm.
real. God is so real." Like such, I just keep thinking such a time as this. Like you said, you've been in servitude positions throughout your career,
Yes.
and it's so crazy how the Lord is aligning it. Like like how you enjoy fashion, and He allowed you to have a position where you could be in fashion and still serve the
Hmm.
people. I think that's a beautiful thing. And like you said, you carrying on relationships, that can
Yeah.
be beyond where you were. Because I mean, it's a season for everything.
It's a season. And it's interesting. I called my mom,
Mhm.
and when I told her, I'm like, I moved on. And she was like, "You sound so peaceful." And I'm like, "I am." I'm like, you know how you want to hold on to something for so long, but it's past time.
Mhm.
Like your time is up. And it's
Yep.
crazy because I have been preparing honestly for months to like I knew my time was coming to an end. I knew it. And I'll say this, even with that, I feel like it was a destiny push. Like, thank you for everything, right? But now I am walking into my destiny for this next chapter in my life. And, I will say, like, I'm thankful for all of the things that, like, I've been through. Girl, I'm gonna write a book one day. People gonna be like, wait, what? That happened to you? This happened? I'm like, yes, it did.
Mhm.
However, I am so glad that I am so resilient. But
Yes.
I'm also glad that I get to share this time in this specific moment with everybody that's watching and listening. So
Yeah.
this is a destiny moment, and
Destiny
I don't
push.
know if I said this already, but now I am full time in my fitness career, so you can call me Coach Courtney.
Hey, Coach Courtney. Okay, that's how we refer to you moving forward. Coach Courtney, we have Coach Courtney here. Okay, so listen. Well, Coach Courtney, can you take us to a moment or a season in your life that inspired this perspective on creativity and obedience?
Mm. Okay, I will say I feel like my entire like journey here in Columbus has been a walk of obedience.
Tell me about
Just
it.
the entire time of me being here, and how things kind of like fall into place and fall into line. But when I think about this moment here, one specific moment that I can think about is, you know, again, working out is always something that's been a part of my lifestyle. And back in 2000, where we at? Oh, 26 right now. 2023 is when I like got serious about it. So I was always serious personally, but I'm like, no, I want to show other people how to do this. But it felt like I had so many obstacles just from like where I was in my life. But I made the decision. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy these courses. Like, a lot of people don't know this. I went to school for nursing, as well. I'm not a nurse.
No shade,
However,
no shade at all to nurses. I know a lot of people may be watching that. No, a nurse or nurses, whatever to whatever. But I do feel like when we're growing up, a lot of times people push you into that avenue because it's
hmm
it's stability in your jobs. You feel me? It's not a doctor because that's a lot of schooling, but it's something that's not as much schooling, but you can get paid a lot of money for it. And I just feel like everybody's not they and I push. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna go on a tangent, but it's just like I
no,
have
it's
like
fine, girl.
girl, I have like nieces and nephews, and I be telling them like, so if money was not the objective, if money was not a factor, what
hmm
would you do? And they had to take and think about it. And these are kids. I'm like, how are you thinking about money now? You a child? I ain't thinking about. I still don't think
hmm
about money. That's why people be like, live. I'm like, I don't know. But I still don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling my sister-in-law, I was like, girl, I think I'm gonna get a job so I can fuel my dreams. She's like, well, about time. Everybody doing it. I was like, well, I mean, I'm just not everybody, and that's
Not
just
everybody.
true, you feel me? But I said it to say when I told them that, like a lot of times people go into that avenue and everybody's not supposed to be a nurse because there's some nurses that has terrible bedside manner.
Oh yeah,
Terrible.
they do.
And I'm like, so why are you doing this job to get a check? You need to go figure out what the Lord will put you on this earth to do because this ain't it. You know what I'm saying?
This ain't it.
That's real. Then I have a niece that we was trying to figure out what she was going to do, and she said she wanted to be ultrasound tech. I said, okay, I love that. She's like, because there's like
hmm
she liked the babies, but she don't actually want to be a doctor in it, but she like to see the forming. I said that's a great way to think about it versus like I just need
hmm
something that's going to be stable in the medical field. Like I just absolutely. I just can't stand that. So it's so when you say you went to school for nursing,
hmm
I'm not surprised
Yeah,
because
I
like
did 2 years. I
two
did two
two
full years. Yeah, and I actually got a scholarship to go for nursing. Like,
you
and I
LPN
don't think
something from that.
I probably could be now, but I did an accelerated 2 year. It's called ADN, an ADN program. However, um, anyway, that's in the past, but it wasn't too far fetched for me because again, I love helping people, and I'm a lot of people don't know this too. I'm like kind of a nerd. Like I'll read like science scholarly journals like in my free time. So like I love science. I love anatomy and physiology. I love the human body. So like for fun, I like to like read science articles and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, nursing, this makes sense. I'm gonna be a nurse anesthetist. I'm gonna give people anesthesia. I'm gonna make all this money. But that wasn't in the cards. That wasn't in the plans. And
So what have
never
you
would I thought. So here's the thing. I've always just kind of been in fashion, just in general, like as an enthusiast, right?
hmm
Growing up in a church, like, you get dressed.
Sunday best.
And
Yes, yes.
okay. And I just always had kind of a natural knack to put stuff together and just the eye to like, okay, this looks great. And I did modeling for a while, in Columbus when I first moved to Columbus.
You still be
Um,
Miss Joan
Girl,
Madison.
sometimes I'm old. Oh yeah, shout out to Miss Jones. She's mother.
Yes, Project Rumble.
Yes.
Now you still when I see you, I'm like, oh, that's Joan. That's Courtney and Joan stuff. Like literally, literally. I love it.
That's my fashion mother. And what's really interesting about that, so how I started in fashion in Columbus was modeling.
Mm.
And Miss Joan was like one of the first people to really like see me, right? You know how you grow up, and I know this is my story and my testimony, like this might make me emotional. Sheesh. Ooh, okay. I grew up never fully being, you give, you give, you give, and I told you like I'm a servant. I will serve. Um, and give. But no one ever, I never felt like no one poured into me, right? Because we're just so used to giving, giving. With my dad being a pastor, a bishop, rest his soul, I miss you, daddy. And my mom, being a first lady, it's like that's all we did was give to people. But like, where's the replenishing? And so when it came to Joan, she came into my life at a very rough time personally for me. I had had a baby, my daughter, a year ago. I was fresh off of my divorce. Um, and it was just a time where I felt like I'm like, dang, I done did all this giving to everybody else in life. Um,
Literally giving
I
birth.
I want to feel good, literally giving birth, pushing a whole baby out.
Giving your
Okay, and I told,
in marriage is a lot.
and marriage is a lot for it not to work, right? And I'm the type of person where it's like, man, this is everything that I didn't want, and I tried to make it work, but I'm so grateful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, I have a beautiful daughter. I have a decent, a really good co-parenting relationship. So I don't feel like a single mom. I have a support system here in Columbus, with my ex-husband's family and all those things. So, and that's not everybody's story, right?
Girl.
But that time, like, it's like you just had a baby, your hormones all out of whack, you feeling ugly, your body is not like, and I'm like, dang, I worked, and what's funny with fitness, I worked out until the day I gave birth, literally. Literally, I worked out. So like I'm like, dang, I just my body don't feel right. I'm trying to get back in the gym like how I really want to, and things are just not. I'm like, and I was under 30 then. And so when Joan came into my life, it was like, wow, I put this gown on and I felt beautiful, right? But then on the inside, like just how she pours into her girls, just on a spiritual level, I'm
Mm.
like, I felt like I was on a journey to like wholeness again, right? And ever since then, like I don't know, we call ourselves Jones Girls. It's like a core group of us who,
I love it.
still model for her and stuff. I haven't done anything in a while. She just it now, honey. Okay, she doing her thing, and I've just kind of been not so focused on modeling. But I would like to get back into modeling, more like fitness modeling. So once I get my body to where I want it to be, real tea, um, we're gonna do fitness modeling. But I would say that's how I got into fashion. And then I always saw Columbus as like, I'm like, yo, Columbus has a opportunity in fashion. And then again, my previous employer, I actually didn't even apply for that job. I didn't even know the organization existed. A friend of mine told me about it, and that's how I ended up started working there.
Wow.
And again, I've met so many great people from large retailers to independent boutiques and brands, and just beautiful like coworkers that I've worked with who have beautiful souls and spirits, and I'm forever grateful for that experience. And I always have, fit for me, fashion and fitness are two things that go together.
Hmm.
Um, there was also a time in Point Grant. I know I'm yapping. I'm sorry. I'm a yapper.
No, I mean, listen. You talk about we gonna be off at 7:30. I said,
I'm like, we gonna be done because I'm shy.
like, girl, you
I'm,
know we would be off here at
I'm
7.
not shy.
Talk.
I be
Let the talk hear. I mean, let them hear what's going on.
I be talking though. But fashion and fitness for me go hand in hand. I also reached a point too where, again, my job was like super demanding. Like it demanded my whole soul at times. You know how I would be. I'm like, girl, I'm tired. I'm sorry I call you back. I was like,
No, we
but I had gained.
calls like Bracia. Let's schedule a call to talk. I'm like, dang, I don't never schedule calls with my friends and talk. Courtney like, Brace, you got to schedule a call. I'm like,
You
dang,
guys, you guys schedule a call and talk to me. I'm sorry.
yeah.
And yeah. I okay, I know we gonna move on from that. But what I was gonna say was, the level of stress that I was under at one point, I would say my second year I was there, I like gained a bunch of weight and all of that. And I'm like, bro, I cannot fit my clothes like the way I need to fit my clothes. And so, yes, I work out for health reasons. And here's a statistic.
Hmm.
Black women have the highest rate of obesity in the United States. Heart
Really,
disease, yes, we do.
high blood pressure.
And yes, we do. And it's really important for me, just as a black woman, to make sure I'm taking care of my body.
Hmm.
Um, you know, and even from a spiritual standpoint, like your body is a temple.
Yeah.
And for me, like I people used to laugh at me, like I know my mom did. Like there was a time and point where like I'm not eating no chicken skin, I'm not eating this, I'm not eating that. Girl, I would be so like such a stickler. Now I've kind of relaxed a little bit, and me and food have a good relationship, but even then I still eat very clean. It's like no, my body's a temple. So what I put inside of me is gonna show on the outside of me.
It is.
And it's gonna show, I mean, well, it won't show internal, but I'll be able to feel it. And so eating clean is important to me. I'm not a big drinker of alcohol. I don't smoke. Um, and so I'm like, no, my body's a temple, and God gave us like a beautiful, like when I think about the human body, it's probably one of the most beautiful things like ever.
Mm.
Just like we have, and here's my science brain like going, like we have muscles and bones and tendons and like you put stress on the muscle, which is weight, right? You put resistance on the muscle and it grows and it's shaped beautifully. Like I'd be like, oh man, God did his thing when he created fitness.
We do fitness journals, and I be like, and you over here all in it, like, oh, I'd be like, okay, okay,
Girl,
okay.
because I love it. I had a client last night that I have on Mondays and Wednesdays. It's funny because I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this next. I'm like, I love this exercise. She's like, you love anything hard. I'm like, yes, I do, because guess what? You're gonna be snatched by the time I get through with you.
Girl, but I mean, it's like you gotta what you love to do. You know what I'm saying? It's just the different vehicles to get to it. You feel me? Like for me, I enjoy. It's weird. Like of course, fashion is my go to, right? But of course, and the wellness aspect of it. But I really really enjoy like watching Selling Sunset, like all the selling shows, like real estate. Like, I'm like,
Hmm.
Lord, if I knew the numbers, I would be out here. I enjoy the aspect of selling. I really do. It's something about it. I like to talk to people, negotiate. Then figure out like why, and then think, and then go into the wellness part, like why do they move like they move, like what are they thinking, like consumer behavior. I enjoy it. I really do enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely
Hmm.
comes to that. It's like the different pieces that adhere to the calling. You feel me?
Hmm.
And it is
You
different.
talked about fashion wellness, so like that's kind of what really connected us.
Yes, yes.
Paper Bag Chronicles, and I'm pretty sure your audience knows all about that.
This is
Um,
the Paperback Chronicles, as y'all can see. Paperback Chronicles, yes, and that's what it is, because it's all about how do you feel before you put your clothes on, and literally, oh, are we? I'm smelling some synergy. How do you feel before you put your clothes on? Would you go to Courtney first because she gets your body right before you put
right.
this?
Oh wait, I was trying to flex. I didn't see it.
You do it again. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, and that's just really, and we got to figure out how we gonna make this work together.
Hmm.
Really am working on a platform to make that make sense, right? But as well as that, my husband said, "Bruce, you need to focus on Kiss by Bo, make that the engine going." So that's the focus too, because
Hmm.
after that engine goes, then they be like, "Oh, what else you doing? We doing this," and then have that thing go full speed ahead. Like you see these right here, look right there. That's like 5 journals that I didn't have for years.
Hmm.
Medical journals, you know what I'm saying? Like so, but that's real, you know what I'm saying? But let me ask you this question in terms of that,
Hmm.
like entrepreneurship, because this is low key, and I mean you was doing it already, you know what I'm saying? But this is like a low
Hmm.
key fight for you. But tell me this: how do you navigate the tension between creating, um, no, sorry, how is monetizing your gifts? That's the one. Ever
Hmm.
conflicted with your sense of calling, and how did you reconcile that?
Hmm. So I will say, yes, I have been doing the fitness thing already. Um, but this full-time entrepreneurship is like super new right now. Um, I will say this. I believe that you invest in what matters,
Mm,
right? So I don't have a problem with monetization because where you put your money, you can see where people put their money, right?
Queen, I feel like you're doing. I
Um,
think you talking to me without talking to me. Just like, literally, I'm like, oh
I
Lord,
mean, if the shoe fit, I'm just saying.
oh
I'm
Lord.
not trying to, your money, where your money goes, it shows, right? And so when it comes to like monetizing my gift, I don't think of it as like I'm selling something, right? In terms of like salesperson, like I don't have to. I don't have to oh, thank you, Jesus.
That's
This
real.
just came to me. Your gift will make room for you and bring you before kings or bring you before men. And
Mm,
so I feel like this is something that I've been working on in the background, right? I poured money into this to be able to train people properly, right? To get these certifications, to get the education, to be able to be a fitness coach. So I invested that. I
yeah,
also invest financially in myself, in my own body. It's not free to go to the gym, you know? Um, and so that's an investment. And so I feel like, hey, and the food that I buy, that's a personal investment in me too as well, because I'm not buying bullcrap, you know? Um, with that being said, this my gift and the thing that I have to offer to really help push people into a healthy way of living, and I like to call it sustainable fitness, meaning it fits your lifestyle,
Yeah.
right? And sustainability is a big thing of me too. Like I don't like wasting things. I like for everything in my life to have a purpose.
Hmm.
Um, believe it or not, I mean, I guess you can probably say I'm not type A, but like I like some order and structure. When it's no order and structure, I can't stand chaos.
Yeah.
Um, but
Look at you like you was in a
my
group
get,
chat. It was in Bible
huh,
study group chat, like we was in a Bible study group
girl?
chat, and I was like, dang, Courtney was in it for a day. I'm like,
I wasn't. It wasn't a day. It was like 30 minutes, and I said absolutely not.
and can I tell you it's crazy how it just slowed all the way down now? It's like barely in their conversation. I was like, dang. At that point, they was talking. But no, I understand that. You definitely like order, and I get that. I definitely get that.
Ooh, which is why I think fitness is my thing. It's a structure, it's an order, it's a method. You get results, right? And
Hmm.
so I don't think of it as I'm selling something. I'm thinking of it as, hey, no, you're investing in your now and you're investing in the person that you want to be when you're 40. Here's some reality. Like, I'm 35 years old. I'm almost 40. I posted something like that the other day. But, entering into like the latter half of my life, I have a almost 9-year old. How do I want to how do I want my daughter to remember me?
Hmm.
Do I want her to remember me as a mom that's active, a mom who eats right, a mom who can play with her in her 70 when I'm 70 years old and, still can hang with the best of them? From a health and wellness standpoint, yes. And so for me, I'm not selling that. I want to inspire people to like, hey, we're here for a limited amount of time right on this earth, so why not take care of why not steward you brought this up to me last week, like that you pray that I'm a good steward right now, but how do we steward our bodies?
Mm.
How do we steward our bodies? And that's important too, stewarding our bodies. And again, you don't have to be perfect at it, right? And eat all the right things and whatever. However, I want to get people thinking like, how can I lead a healthier lifestyle? So I can be around for my family. And to me, so I can please God. Like I just think it's pleasing to God. Like, and no shade, I'm so sorry what I'm about to say, but I gotta say this.
Say
I'm
it.
I'm not about to trust a person, a preacher who is overweight. I'm sorry. I know that's so mean to say. But like you don't care enough about your temple.
Can I tell you? We just had this
I'm
conversation.
sorry, that's so mean, but like I just maybe it's not me. It's just real.
It's not because I was just talking to somebody today and they went to like a weight management doctor, right? Me and mommy was talking about this person the other day, and they said the doctor from the weight management they told us the doctor who was in there was bigger than them and they were overweight. And I'm like, so how are you
Uh-uh.
listening to them? I was like, that's a contradiction. I said, well, they should have been higher. And then mom was like, well, they would have been discrimination. I'm like, and I told the person like, hey,
And
I would get no advice from them because you smaller than them clearly. You know what I'm saying? So it's
I'm
just
not saying be skinny. You ain't gotta be skinny, but it's like and
that is
again, I know people have health issues. I get it. Like so I don't want to get canceled or nothing for saying that. But I think like how can you be the best version of yourself? And if you're walking around here, can barely walk, can barely breathe, how are you like serving God? Like to me, that's like you're serving God from a limited capacity, and you're serving people from a very limited capacity, and that's not fair.
yeah. It's
When
like
you can live a full life,
you're not stewarding your body well.
you're not stewarding your body well, and I take that very seriously, and I always have taken that very seriously. I had to like really work through like the body dysmorphia stuff because there would be points where I'm like I would obsess over it, but I'm like, okay, no, no, no. This is not something to obsess over. This is something to steward. Um, and also, being
Like,
35,
you
going
have
through body changes. What'd you say?
you have struggles with body dysmorphia.
Yeah, girl. Especially growing up like in a black household, like, oh, you skinny, oh, you getting thick, or And so I would like
Yeah.
my weight would fluctuate so much, like to the point where yeah. But now I'm like, no, I love myself. And even as I am transitioning in age, again, we know 35 is young, but like, let's be real. Like, I'm at a point in my life where my body is changing again. Really, almost every 7 years, your body changes.
That's
You know,
what they
after
say.
having a baby, again, me entering to that later half of my life, and things that I have to think about, like eventually perimenopause, like that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Um,
No,
you know,
body dysmorphia is real. I can tell you, I
hmm
didn't really struggle with that until I became an adult, and that's so crazy. Because growing up, I was always skinny, and they knew I was skinny. I was just a skinny chick, right? But right before Chancellor came, what are you doing? Right before Chancellor came, I was slim thick. You feel me? I was
hey,
her, and I was loving all of my curves. And then my man, then boyfriend, husband thing, he liked it too. I said, "Well, amen." Then, then I went to LA. I was supposed to go with one of
hmm
my good friends at the time, and they bailed on me for whatever reason. They a little crazy, and didn't end up going. They didn't end up going, so I went by myself. First time ever going across the country by myself as an adult. Like I ain't do that kind of traveling. I'm not well traveled. I'm not gonna lie. I go to Atlanta because that's my focus at, and that's about it, right? So I went out there, had a blast. Did had a blast.
hmm
I came back and it was weird. I think I just everything came back to me, and I stopped eating for like a month.
Jesus.
And I lost 15 pounds in a month. And my doctor was like, "Yo, you gotta do something about this." She's like, you need to drink Ensure." So I was drinking Ensure a lot, but it got to the point like I was afraid to eat. And I'm
Yes, yes, I've been there.
like if I ate, like I like before that, before thank God for Chancellor, because now I've gotten so much better when it came to vomit, because I did not like vomit. I didn't want to hear nobody do it, know about it. My husband maybe me do it once ever. Like I did not. I had I think the phobia is called, I can't even pronounce it, start with an E, but it's a phobia of vomit, right? And I really had that.
hmm
And so every time I ate, I felt nauseous. So I'm not eating if I feel nauseous. I'm gonna be sick, and I don't want to be sick.
Yeah.
So literally for a month I stopped. I had to pray on that, and I was in Columbus at the time. I came back to this house where I'm at now, right? I had to come back to my grandparents' house and be like, "Hey, and my grandmother been gone since 2011. I just had to come back where it felt comfortable." And my cousin was here with me. Girl, I chowed
Mm-hmm.
down. I ate so much food, and I was like, I didn't feel sick or anything like that. I just had to get into a comfortable space, and then I was
Mm-hmm.
back. And it's crazy. I'll catch glimpses of that, like before Chance were like, "Oh, you can't eat," or "This is gonna happen," or I'm like, "Wait,
Mm-hmm.
better chill out and eat," because I was hungry. I just couldn't eat. Then had the baby. Now, of course, literally, I'm nursing as we speak. That's why y'all can't see my outfit because I'm cute. But literally,
Shout
nursing.
out
I
to nursing moms. I was a nursing mom.
girl, and he think he's sleeping.
Beautiful.
I told him, I said, when you're not sleeping, you're not nursing. But he know I'm talking, and so he
Oh
over here
yeah.
of it.
It's a
He think,
comfort thing. It's okay. I nursed
girl.
Charlie since she was 3, so
Oh, thank you,
yeah.
Queenie. I should have been talking to you on the phone because these folks
You
just be
should have
telling me,
been. I'm a crunchy mom, as they say.
girl. Because
I did the baby food.
I mean, it's your baby. That's what I'm saying.
It's
Okay,
my baby.
nonetheless, so after I had Chancellor nursing, and that's why our stomachs is funny. That's why we look like we look, because that nursing is real. I don't care what
Snatched.
nobody say. I do not care if nobody say this is real. But I said that to say, then I got back to, like, I gained my weight back after I had Chancellor. I was slim thick again. Then I nursed, and they slimmed all the way back down to how I was.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, I am eating because I have to, because I'm hungry.
Yeah, no energy. You starving. Yep.
I'm literally hungry, and I'm taking prenatals, and I'm to the point now I eat a lot. Like right now, I'm kind of hungry. I'm starving, but I said that to say body dysmorphia is real. And
Yeah,
that's
man.
different on different people. And I love that we can have a conversation about that, because sometimes people don't. And we never know what people are going through who's watching this from
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. We don't know who's watching to be like, yo, I struggle with that too. What was your experience with it, if you don't mind sharing?
No, yeah, I would say too, like, so I always been like skinny, like my whole life, and
Any
to the
girl.
point where people used to call me the olive oil, like from Popeye, like you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like bony. I was bone, like I was all bones,
But I used to be
and
like, but I'm
like,
cute. And they be like, you
huh?
what? I used to like, I'm skinny, but I'm cute. The one dude in high school used to call me skinny sexy.
Girl, that's when like the face part never declines, that part. But I'm like, I was always skinny, right? And then like being an athlete, like
Mm.
uh having to kind of, putting on weight. And so, and I think too, a lot of the women in my family, whether they admit this or not, like me and my cousins, we talk about this a lot. Like a lot of us, we have body dysmorphia because, like, our parents is like, girl, you getting thick, or you skinny. What's going on with you? Like, a lot of that. And then I will also say too, like, um, modeling, like when I was doing that here in Columbus, like comparison is a thief of joy. That's what they say.
Mm.
And I would be like, I feel like the biggest one in the room at that point. Because then, I'm in my 20s and, I got my, like, no, I actually got my grown woman weight now. But, like, back then I was, like, slim, thick. Like, I ain't had no kids. So, everything was real tea. I'm tea now, but whatever. But, it was different when you're in your 20s. You, like, feeling yourself a little thick. And then you come around these girls who's a size zero. And I'm like, dang, I ain't been a zero since I was in high school.
I ain't gonna
And
lie
so
to you.
I was like a size six at that time. So, because you
Six ain't
body
big
was
to
bodying,
some people,
huh?
and six ain't big until it is to some people.
Right, to some people. And so, but being in rooms with people who was zeros, I felt like a pig.
Yeah.
Whatever, to each their own. But now, like, I'm at a point, it's also about, what do we call it? In fitness, we call it like body recomposition. So I'm at a decent weight now. However, it's how the weight is distributed in your body. Um, and I feel good about it. And again, I'm 35, so I know that there are certain things that are going to slow down a little bit, like my metabolism, which is why I stay so active so that my metabolism can be higher. And also, my biggest focus now is, I'm gaining weight now, but I'm gaining more muscle mass. So, like, I'm like, oh, wow, I look bigger, but like, I look toned. It's muscle.
Yeah.
And again, muscle's more dense than fat. And I guess I'm saying all that to say, get to this point. In building muscle, just as a woman, if you're in your 30s, so anybody in their 30s, strength training is probably one of the best things that you can ever do to build muscle. Um, because as you age, the percentage of your muscle density decreases with age.
Hmm.
So right now, if you're in your 30s, you want to start strength training. You want to start doing weight bearing exercises, so you can be stronger into your 40s, into your 50s, into your 60s. It's this baddie that I follow. She's like 70 years old. Like, this woman is so cold, so fit, and I'm like, I just want to be like her when I grow up.
Mm.
Muscle tone, and like she's so mobile, and she can do everything that I can do, probably way more than me. Some of the videos I'm like, dang girl.
Yeah.
So listen, it's important. But now sometimes I catch myself every now and again. And another thing that kind of changed my perspective on body dysmorphia, or just like loving my body, is having a daughter.
Mm. Yeah.
Kids mimic you, especially having a little girl. She wants to be me, and in the best way, and I love that, right?
Thing ever. Yes. Yes.
It's That's my little best friend, y'all. Again, I never thought I would be a mother, 'cause that's not something that I desired in life.
I know. So,
I
and
told you that,
that's very
but I
good.
love it.
Right. So for me, like I wanted kids. I just didn't know when. I just know I
Hmm.
wanted to be like Beyonce. I want to be the maid and then have my kids, right? But the Lord said, no, you need a motivation because if that's gonna happen, you ain't gonna never do it. You know what I'm saying? But no, and that's real though. I love that. Like I feel like
Hmm.
me and my mom is very close because it's like I want to be like her. When everything my mom wears to this day, I'm like, mommy, I would wear that. And she
Hmm.
had me 60 and I'm 33 and I'd be like, Mom, I'll wear that. She lucky I can't fit her shoes. It would be a wrap because I can fit her
Oh,
clothes.
me and my mom share the same shoes. So like my mom, she has plantar fasciitis, like some stuff with her feet, and my mom would wear 6 inch like. So I get all the best shoes like from my mom. And she keeps her shoes so well. Like she don't wear her high heels outside. Like she has a little cute little shoe bag, and so like most of the shoes that I own like are from my mom, and they be cold blooded, girl.
I wish my mom wore a
So
size.
we share the same size shoe at one point.
I, I
Shout
wish
out to
six.
mommy.
I wear a 9. My mom wore a 6.5, 7. I could slide my feet in there because my feet are narrow, but
Mm.
I'm with it. Okay, I
No,
like I
it's something about a mommy-daughter relationship. Like, with me and Charlie, again, because she used to hear me talk about myself like, oh, I'm bloated. Oh, I look fat. Oh, I feel like, oh, I look ugly. Like, and she's like, why do you talk to yourself like that? I had to have a child check me, girl. I
she
was
said,
like, ooh. She's like,
wow.
why do you talk to yourself like that? That's like crazy. And I was like, it is kind of crazy. That's crazy. and
Wow.
you're watching me. You're
Mm-hmm.
watching me. And I'm
Mm.
like, even if I might feel away, I don't let those thoughts overtake me. Like, we all have our bad days. Like, cool. Like, I don't feel beautiful today. Okay, cool. But I'm not about to let that thought overtake me. Or like, I feel a little heavier today. I'm not gonna let that overtake me. But there's also not logical, physical things that happen in a woman's body. Like, okay, well, I am in my follicular phase in my cycle, so that's why my body looks like this. Or, oh, I'm ovulating. Oh, I feel good. My stomach is flat. Everything is, you know.
Exactly.
Or then maybe you feel like crap, like, oh, I'm actually in the menstrual phase. Like, this is horrible. And like
Mm.
giving ourselves grace to
And
work
looking pregnant.
through, yeah, huh?
And looking pregnant. Okay. And don't.
Right, okay. And
I had to
don't be.
I had to tell people with being smaller in stature, right? Just thinner by nature. Anytime you are bloated, people think you're pregnant. Like I got people ask me that all the time. And like even around my husband, and he'd be like, "That's embarrassing for me." I'm like, "I know, but I just." He said, "But you flow with it, so I flow with it too." You know what I'm saying? One time I had a drink in my hand. My homegirl said, "You expecting?" I said, "Well, why would I have a drink in my hand if I'm expecting?"
Girl, because people crazy and they do. Girl, that's why I keep me some Spanx just in case. I'd be like, I'm gonna
And
put
and
Spanx on
I
today.
refuse to wear a spank. I refuse. When I tell you,
Why? It helps your posture. It helps you, like, again, I don't care how skinny I was, I always wore them. It just
but
it just smooth you out and make you look good.
for the posture, I do need that because my posture is trash. Now I'm always like this,
Hmm.
nursing a baby. So my posture, I'm gonna go to Pilates this weekend and reformer, and I'm gonna get my posture together. But I don't like tight clothes. I don't like anything tight.
Oh, girl, I do. Want
Oh
to feel snatched. Give me a
no.
corset that's so tight and like I want my ribs to hurt.
See, I'll do a corset though, and that's why I've been making my corsets. Like I have one on right now, but you see it's on top of my clothes.
Hmm.
See, I'll do that. You feel me? But I ain't
I
wearing
feel you.
Spanx for my wedding dress. The one girl told me to get a faja. I said, I don't
Yeah,
need a.
girl. That
I
have
said,
you look real good.
girl, bye. She told me
Girl,
this.
I wore a Spanx under my wedding dress and I had a corset.
No,
Ouch.
no, no, because I want to be able to eat and dance, girl. You know I be trying to kick it. I said,
Girl, I
Cause
didn't even eat, but
I ain't either. I ain't either.
that's
Girl,
a whole nother story.
I ate about 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay, but we had a good time. Listen, we had a good time. But
My
here's the
next one I'm eating, I'm not wearing no girdle too. It's gonna be a party in Jesus' name.
oh, that's what we gonna be doing is partying. That's what I'm talking about. So, was you hot? That's when we on the door. But listen, I want to ask you this question about motherhood, right? Since we're in that realm,
Yeah.
how has motherhood reshaped your creativity, timing, or expectations of yourself?
Mm, that's a good one. I would say motherhood has made me more creative. I will say, just in all honesty and full transparency, my daughter, she'll be 9. I divorced or was going through my divorce literally before she turned 1.
Mm.
Um, and I had been married
How long were you?
for,
Yeah, how long were you together before then?
so I was married for,
Go, go, go.
it was 5 years.
Mm.
Yeah, it was 5 years. And then, my divorce took a couple years. However, but I was going through my divorce right before my daughter turned 1, and that was not an easy time. Like, that was a rough time.
This
And
one of
I
mother,
can say this now, huh?
year one of motherhood is ridiculous.
Yes, it's ridiculous. Like, my body, my hormones was crazy, and then like to be going through a life change like that. So like I already went through a life change like with a child.
Hmm.
Um and going through a divorce like during that time at the same time, like that was a lot. And then with that, I lost half of my income, like, income. I was in a two income household. So I would say my creativity and resourcefulness got like super resourceful then. Okay. Like, so, uh, you got to make this happen. You have another life, right? And you have to make plans and you have to be a good steward. There's the word again, stewardship. You have to be a good steward over the things that you have. It's crazy because I went to work every day. Nobody knew that I was even going through a divorce. It was insane until it actually and then at that time, I was facilitating and training, so I was in people, pouring into people, pouring into people. Um,
Wow.
and while going through that behind closed doors. And so even now, like fast forward to now with my daughter, I feel like she's a natural creative, which is really interesting. So and her imagination is like insane. And so as a mother, like through her, I feel like I'm inspired to be more creative just because she's a natural born artist, so she can draw really well.
I love.
Um, she loves to like what do you call it? Like acting and stuff like that. Like so she loves that. So she's super dramatic. You know, Charlie
So,
dramatic.
do we have a
Um,
thespian on our hands?
we do have a thespian. Like she's that very much so, yeah. And it's kind of funny because like she's like all the things like that I quietly tried to do when I was a kid, you know, because I did theater for like a short amount of time. I was in plays and stuff. I'm a musician, so she doesn't have the musician like talent, but she has the artistic drawing talent.
Hmm.
So I play piano, I sing. I
Amen.
mean, most church kids, you kind of got to.
Girl, we
Um,
all in the choir. Shoot, I love a good gospel.
Girl, yeah, I love a good choir. Okay. But like I play piano by ear, so that's like a gift and talent that I don't use anymore that I probably should use. And I don't sing as much as I used to. I actually don't sing at all. But anyway, sh just by her being a creative has forced me to, I won't say forced me, has encouraged me to like tap into more of my creativity. And I think for me, through fashion is where I tap into that creativity. Fashion is art. Fashion is an art form. Our bodies are like the canvas. Ooh, girl, I ate with that.
A body is
Our
a
body, our bodies are the canvas for, you know, our clothing, and that's how I look at it. And so when, you know, I don't know if you said this or who I was talking to, but like clothing invokes an emotion.
it does.
To
It
me, it
does.
does.
People, even if you got on some sweatpants, like I was saying this the other day, I said, even if you go outside with just sweatpants on and a t-shirt, that's an emotion that you're wearing. Like your
Hmm.
style shows up before you even say a word, and is what is it saying? And you have to be
Hmm.
cognizant of that. And I feel like people don't realize that. Like I'm taking this jumpsuit in for this girl, her birthday, my cousin's sister, her birthday tomorrow, and she
Hmm.
was talking about how she said, don't get fat because you can't fit nothing. I said, girl, it's just get stuff that fit you. You know what I'm saying? But I said, she had another dress that she wanted to wear, and I said, well, what are you feeling confident in? She's like, "Well, do I look
Hmm.
big in this?" I said, "It's tight. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. You look tight in this, right?" But I told her, on top of that, I said, "But listen, what are you confident in? Because somebody else will tell
Hmm.
you to wear something all day, but if you're not confident in that, it's not gonna evoke. You look confident in this. You didn't even show me the dress. You want to wear this jumpsuit? We gonna make this jumpsuit fit you how the best it can fit you. You feel me for the time."
Hmm.
And I feel like we have to understand that because, like you said, your body is a canvas. You feel me?
Yes.
In a canvas, we have to make sure we are adhering to that. Like what, how, and with you, it's like, how can we strengthen this body? How can we strengthen this canvas? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing with that one? Then, you know, then how are we clothing that? What's that attitude behind
Yes.
it? The intentionality behind it? You know what I'm saying? What are we covering up today? What are we showcasing today?
Yes. And that's another thing too with fashion. Like I'm so not the trendy girl. I'm more so the I feel like I have like a sense of nostalgia like when it comes to my style because I like
No?
again, I had some of my girlfriends over and they were looking at my closet. I'm like, y'all don't got a lot of clothes. I just know how to make it work, right? Because I'm more of a sustainable person. I buy things that are gonna last and things that I can repeat, right?
Yep.
The classiest people that we know are outfit repeaters.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like if you really, really think about it, it's
With
like
trends, it's like you can
having
find
your staples.
on. Mm-hmm.
What'd you say?
Trends you can find on a mannequin. Like, do you know style? Can you put this thing together? Three
Yes.
different ways.
How do you elevate this? I used to do these things. I might start doing this again. But I would take 3 items. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get 10 outfits out of this. Um and I also buy quality. So it's like, you know, I'm also a thrifter or consignment. I love thrifting. I love consignment. I try to stay away from fast fashion as best as possible. And I love supporting local designers. Girl, you need to make me something. We need to, because that's a shame.
I
That's a
know.
shame. That's a shame. I'm
It's
a bad friend, but you know what? It's okay because
no,
I'm gonna give me some custom.
hey, you got me connected other ways. Okay, like so I am not mad at it. Okay, at all. You know, I feel like it's really all about I always pray for access and connectivity. That's what it's really all about. And then I feel
Hmm.
like why my daddy calling me? I ain't telling him I was on here, but he be calling me in the middle of this. But no, I just feel like, I for me, since I'm an entrepreneur, money is always funny. Always. Okay. One day,
Mm-mm, we ain't speaking that. We ain't claiming that.
man, you right. Just being
Overflow, open doors.
right. But realistic,
Strategy, new strategy. Nope, nope.
Courtney ain't gonna
New
let me say that.
strategies.
Right.
I'm not letting you say that.
Well,
No.
I'm not gonna say that, but in terms of purchasing pieces, I'm very intentional with what I
Yeah.
buy because I be trying
Hmm.
to be a good steward of my funds as well. So I'm very intentional with what I buy. In doing so,
Hmm.
I'm over here like, hey, it got to make sense. So like, I even bought some stuff from Shein, right, fast fashion, but I'm over here.
Hmm.
This is a pattern to make my own pieces because I like this. I can
Hmm.
like this, or I just had, I'm doing me a little micro lock thing, and I'm looking up hair products. Okay,
Hmm.
who are these hair products by? Is this black owned? Is this not black owned? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, if this is not black owned, so what is this offering that I can get? You know what I'm saying? Okay, this is a pure.
Yeah.
This is pure. So this is like more or less. Don't you cut up. This is more or less
She
how.
said, "Don't you cut up."
Look, now you want to go upstairs. It's like this is pure. This is natural products. You know what I'm saying? What does that
Yeah.
look like? Tell them in terms of when it comes to you and your purchasing behavior. How are
Hmm.
you doing that now as an entrepreneur? Talk, and I'm gonna be right back.
Oh yeah. So for me, she said, "How do I?" What was the question again?
How do you maneuver your purchasing behaviors?
Oh yeah, my purchasing behaviors. Honestly, I don't buy a lot of stuff. I don't at all. What's interesting is like last year, I can count on one hand like how many like new items, pieces of clothing that I buy. I probably only bought, I'll say like 10 to 12 new items. When I buy clothes, I try to buy things that make sense, right? So I feel like I have a what they call a capsule wardrobe. So I have my denim, I have my button downs, I have my silk shirts, I have my satin shirts, I have my dresses. So and I also maintain like my body in a way that I don't have to keep buying clothes over and over again. And I also sometimes I spend a little bit more money on more quality things. Because I know I'm gonna get more wear out of a silk shirt or more wear out of like a really good pair of denim jeans. And what's interesting is some of the clothes that I've had for like years and years and years. And any new additions is because I actually really need it. Um and or sometimes it's like now I will say this, I have bought new gym clothes. That's the thing.
Where do you shop?
Um for my gym clothes, honestly, here, there, and everywhere. So I go to, I hope I don't get canceled. I go to Target for my gym clothes. And Kohl's be like a best kept secret because they sell Nike and Adidas and stuff like that. And I'm an Adidas girl. Like I really love Adidas. And I've been into Under Armour too. So like, they have like really good sales and really good deals. And sometimes I don't believe in buying things full price because like why? Like why would I?
Girl.
Um, and I know how to shop with different seasons, and it's just kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
I know that this is about to go on sale, so I'm just gonna hold off and wait. I used to be an impulsive buyer, but I've learned like by the way I shop now, like less is more
Mm-hmm.
in terms of quality over quantity any day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I don't just be buying a whole bunch of random stuff.
No, that's
I don't
real.
feel the urge or need to like be that impulsive anymore.
When I had it, I still have it. Amen. I
Girl,
still
when I didn't have it, I was still impulsive and be like, I'm about to buy this anyway. I'd be like, it'll
shoot,
come back to me.
knowing my phone bill wasn't paid for, but I'm buying all this. Okay, you know, literally, like I was buying all kinds of stuff. I'm like, girl, did you pay for stuff? Now I'm at a point. If I can't make it, then I'll buy it. But I'm gonna be like, Bert, you better make something. You better make it. Like I'm
But
really
see,
gonna.
you got that gift. You got that gift in your hands. You need to do some song classes so I can learn. Cause I feel like I got the gift, but I just think, you
I ain't gonna lie.
know.
I'm not a good teacher. I can record myself doing it, but me explaining that bad boy, I'm like, hey, just watch what I'm doing. I don't know. Listen. I went to. Oh, we had two messages. I went to an actual sewing class before, and it was like,
Hmm.
I was like, oh, you're doing a great job at this, cause I could not saying I could never, but yeah, no.
No, I know what you mean.
Like, that's just not my calling. Amen. Hale. But let me ask you a couple more questions and we'll wrap up. Because, Courtney, we be on here talking all night. Listen,
I know.
um, how do you extend grace to yourself while pursuing excellence?
Ooh, child, you just traumatized me with that question. No, I'm joking.
Mm,
I think every day for me, I'm learning to give myself grace. Here's the thing. We all fall short.
yeah.
We all miss the mark, one way or another.
Hmm.
However, for me, is what do you do with that? Because I think, not I think, there was in my 20s, like, I would be so hard on myself by not like accomplishing something, right? Or like in the time period that I think that I should have done it, or
Hmm.
when I needed to rest, I didn't because I felt like I had to be doing something like 24/7.
Rest is
Um,
productivity. I have to understand. Rest is
yeah.
productivity. It
And
is.
so, no, it really is. And I think too, like where the grace comes in for me is, okay, how do I still accomplish what I said? How do I do the things that I say I'm gonna do for Courtney and for God, number one, right? Because again, we're not just on this earth like freestyling. And so to me, for anybody that's just like freestyling through life, like that's a problem. You're here for a reason. You're here for a limited amount of time. So you should steward that time well that you're here, right? And so I'm like, okay, Laura, how do like I steward my time every day? But then if I don't get to everything on that list, I'm not beating myself up about it.
Girl, beat myself down. And I'm over here.
It ain't, girl. If I'm tired, there are moments that I will push through, but sometimes your body is telling you, have a seat. And I've
Girl.
been learning like, okay, have a seat because guess what? Your mind is gonna be well rested, and you're gonna be more productive.
Hmm.
The human brain only really works to maximum capacity in 90-minute segments.
Mm.
So all this time we thinking, oh, I worked for 16 hours on this one thing. You really wasn't for that productive.
And I
It's
am.
not possible.
90 makes sense for me because I'm like, yeah, 90 minutes is when I'm really am like doing the thing. And that does make sense because I'm over here like, hey, last night I said, okay, I'm gonna stay up till like 2 o'clock and I'm gonna get this done. Then Chance woke up.
Hmm.
And that's the Lord knows he sent me this boy for a reason because Chance woke up. That meant it's time to go to sleep. That's what it meant. It's time for you. And I said, well, midnight is my time because midnight when I get up at I got up at 7 o'clock this morning and then went back to sleep. That's when I posted everything. Between 7 and 9, I was up.
Hmm.
I said, okay, Courtney, I'm going back to sleep. You know what I'm saying? But I was up, probably stayed up. I got more work done. Nonetheless, it's crazy because you know, I that 90-minute segment is real because I really was like, I was gonna go over that, and I'm like, no, it's time to go to sleep. Like even when I get off of here, I am sleepy, I'm hungry, and I'm like, I gotta do this work X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna pray about it. But Lord, what do you want me to do? Because I got that top three thing. Shout out to Aaron on Demand. It's I don't have it in here. It's a planner, top three, right? And it's like your top three for the day, for the week, for the month, for the quarter, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And just three things. Can I get three things done? Is my goal,
Yes.
and it's real.
90 minutes. And this is what I've been doing. Like, okay, I know I need to get this accomplished. So this is my first 90 minutes. And
Hmm.
then I'm going to take a break. I'm going to walk away for about 30. And then we're going to reset. And then I'm going to go on to the next task.
I
And
value
for
the 10
me,
minutes for that. That's good.
I start my day off like, so I get up between 4:30 and 5. But I start my day. I know, girl. I used to get up at 4 in the morning. But then I'd be done by 3, like when I get up at 4. So like it's been more like 5-ish. I get up, I read my devotional for the day.
Hmm.
That's something like that I have to do, or like my
Yeah.
day is fried.
Yeah.
I can't. And then if I forget, I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna read this, to encourage me. So I do that. I go to the gym, or well, I'll take my daughter to the bus stop, take her to school, go to
Mhm.
the gym, and then after that, that's my working time. It's like, okay, so what clients am I going to like reach out to? Like, what organizations do I want to put on my list to reach out to offer wellness classes?
Mhm.
Um, what emails do I need to answer? I've been working on my landing page, my website. So like doing little things like that. My content planning. So like, cause that's the thing now. Now I have time to do more content. So what does that look like? And so I break those things up into 90-minute sections. Whatever I don't get done on today, we're gonna move it over to tomorrow.
Mhm.
And now I got to figure out what's my day of rest. What's my Sabbath? Is it gonna be Sundays? Is it gonna be Fridays? I'm just not doing no work and I'm just more
See,
so just like replenishing and pouring into myself. What'd you say?
Sunday is for me, but the weekend is when I really be outside moving and grooving. But Sundays is like when I like to just be with family and just chill.
I feel like maybe no, I got clients on Mondays. I'm like maybe Mondays, but no, but like I did this weekend. I did take some time to. It's funny because people think I'd be outside. I really don't. Like
Who
I
think
be
you?
in the house by 10 p.m.
Who think you be outside?
People, I do not. You already know. Y'all
I
be
know.
like,
That's why I'm like, who is that? Because they don't be outside
mm-mm.
if they thinking you outside. Because we was outside and I had a whole baby and I was outside and I'm like, I ain't not never seen Courtney when I invited you to my birthday event. You came. It's like, all right, birthday. I'm like, dang, Courtney, you
I'll
just
see you later, girl. She's like, you not coming? Nope.
and we had karaoke at the house all night. Girl, we had a good time.
I know. I had FOMO afterwards. I was like, dang, I was seeing the post and stuff. No, I posted this thing. I was like, if you see me outside, it's AI. It's not me for real. No, I like to do my little, like, I'll go to like a little cute little jazz night, but like, listen, past 11 o'clock, I'm like, no. If you catch me out, it's not me. If y'all see me outside past 10 p.m., close to, it's probably not me. I'll go to the symphony, I'll do stuff like that, but girl, I don't be want to be outside where everybody at. I'm trying to be outside in a productive way.
See, and that's real. That's real.
We're the like-minded people. That's the outside I want to be. Where's
And
the culture? What's helping me develop as a person? Like, and again, it don't gotta be all like development, but like, where
but
am
you
I
know,
being poured into?
can I tell you, it's so crazy. Every time we go, it's like Chippy will tell you too. But I mean, she won't be going to the bar. Like every time my husband and I go like to the bar somewhere, people are coming up to us and like
Hmm.
venting and pour. And I'm like, why they keep coming up to us? And he's like, Bracia, we are on assignment. These folk be needing this, and I be like,
Girl, let
preach.
me tell you, I know we gotta go soon. The last time, like I went to like a bar, like it was like party rah rah. It was a couple years ago, and if, I go to like the Junto Hotel and like sit at their bar and whatever, like
Love it.
whatever, do
Yes,
their little happy hour, like their
yes.
happy hour wings is popping. But
Girl, I'm
but
like, girl.
like so when I went out, this was like 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, so this guy was there, and it was just like, just cool. He's all your outfits fire. I'm like, all right, cool, thank you. And we got to talking. He knew people in the fashion community, whatever, whatever. Girl, he starts telling me his like life story, and like God was like, you need to pray for this man. I'm like, in a bar, like
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not trying to pray for nobody in a bar.
did that before, girl. I done prayed. Did
Girl, and I was praying heaven down. It was kind of crazy. I was like, see, Lord, I don't need to be out here. But I did need to be out here because at that time, because that young man needed prayer. And I had to do that. So, like,
he
no
may
matter where we are, that's, hmm,
he may have been in his car and like, Lord, I need you to give me a sign that you're here, and then you walking into the bar that you said I don't need to be outside, and walk into that bar and pray. That is so real. My
it
homegirl,
was crazy.
we was at a Roosevelt Room. Shout out to Roosevelt Room in Columbus and Dublin. Love them, our folk over there. So we kicking it, right? And we had some drinks because
Hmm.
I don't say I get drunk. I have drinks though. I do have.
Look at her.
Amen. They say you can drink, not get drunk. Amen. Halle. And so we had some drinks, but my homegirl, she was a little lit. But the girl was in a bathroom and she was like, I don't know what she was doing, but I think she didn't like I don't know, she was doing something. And my homegirl was like, no, you're fine. And God loves you how you are, X, Y, and Z. And she's like, does he? The girl was like listening to her. She needed to hear it.
Mm.
And I don't care. I feel like the Lord will use you in any capacity. I think in
Hmm.
And my homegirl was like, Brisha, did I do okay? Because, she in Bible study. She said, did I do okay? I said, did you do okay? Yes. It's like, I shouldn't have been that drunk. I was like, no, because maybe you wouldn't even talk to that girl because she was too drunk to if you weren't as lit as you were, quote unquote, you probably wouldn't even get a girl two looks. You probably would have been like, I ain't talking to her. She lit. You know what I'm saying? But you were, and you had the Lord in you, on you always.
Hmm.
Used you in that moment. And I said, girl, you did fine. I said, and everything else you pray about that and ask him to forgive you and move accordingly
That
how
part.
you were. But I think that she did a good job in that time because I do know sometimes your witness can be removed if you are, dealing
Hmm.
with certain arenas and things of that nature. So you definitely have to be on guard. Like make sure you're always an example of him. But like I told her, I said, girl, you did a good job. So it's like you just never know.
Hmm.
Girl, we went to. I'll say this: we went to a house and the girl was a witch. My husband speaking
Child, I rebuke it.
word. We over here like she said, I'm a good one. So I said, well, you know what? Listen, I believe in Jesus Christ. He died for my cross. He died on my sin, died on the cross for my sins. Having a conversation and she just listening. And I said, girl, just try him. She's like, yeah. It's like, try him. He won't do you wrong. Like literally.
Hmm. Listen, even and this is the last thing I'm gonna say because we're gonna be talking on a even
Go.
in my previous job, I really truly too believe I was there. A lot of my coworkers, we all have similar backgrounds. We grew up in the church,
Oh, really?
and we were kind of like in a place of like, okay, Lord, like we've been either hurt by the church in a way or like misled or like we all go through our things as kids who grow up in church. And I can say like we've had moments and bonded over things, and honestly I feel like we kind of pushed each other back into a place of like faith, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. Like I love them. There were times where we like had like super deep conversations like just about the Lord, and like I believe like all those conversations, whether I was like, the one speaking the most or somebody else was, like we all like planted seeds within each other to grow like in our faith in one way or another. So like I can say that I'm thankful for that.
I love that.
And I can say that, and hopefully they are too. I know they are. I love them. Those are like my brothers and sisters for real, for real. Mostly men, mostly brothers, but shout out to y'all. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Love you.
Y'all know who y'all
Um,
I love that.
hmm.
I said you said y'all know who y'all are. Amen.
Yeah, they know who they are. Stop
Man.
running. I'm gonna stop running too.
Come
One of
on.
these.
I'm gonna ask you some rapid fire questions, okay? Like maybe 5 6.
Yes.
So
Okay.
in closing, hold on, don't wanna we're gonna rapid fire then I'm in closing. In closing, okay. Obedience or understanding?
Obedience.
Okay. Um faith or feelings? I mean these are kind of easy.
Faith.
Faith, grace or grit?
Mm, grit. I don't know why I said that, but that's the first thought.
Okay, okay. Calling or comfort?
Calling.
Quiet season or visible season?
Oh, I'm in my visible season right now.
Okay, amen. Holla. It's like I'm quiet. That's
Hmm.
why the door got me ducked off. Um,
I've been ducked off too long.
okay.
Time to come out.
It's time to come on out. What's one
Mhm.
word that describes your current season?
Momentum.
Mm. And what is some advice that you will give to someone watching um, that's in that same current season as you?
I would say don't be afraid to show up as yourself. I
Mm.
have this saying, dream, live, be you.
That's your Instagram name. I
That's
got
my Instagram, and that's to the day I die. Dream, live, be you. Like we are all unique individuals, and if God wanted us to be the same, we would all be the same. We would all be gray blobs, but we're not, right? And so there's no one with your DNA. Oof, that
mm,
almost made me cry. Like there's no one with my DNA. There's no one, even though our assignments may be adjacent or we may have similar gifts, talents, and abilities, your gift will make room for you, right? There's only one Courtney that can do what I'm doing right now.
hmm
There's only one, whatever your name is, that can do what you do. Nobody else. can do what you do, and that's not from an arrogant place, but that's from a place of God loves you in so much that He designed you so
Mm-hmm.
intricately that only you could do the thing that you can do for this time period in your life. So
Mm-hmm.
just be yourself. And don't let anyone else, like, yeah, maybe it might be cringe to other people or whatever. I hate saying that word cringe. Like, my kid tells me I'm cringe sometimes, but whatever. It may be whatever to other people, or but they don't have to understand it. You are here for God's purpose, and you just need to be yourself because that's what people are waiting for. People are waiting for you. People are waiting for me. People are waiting for Braysha.
Mm-hmm.
People, they're waiting for that authentic version, that raw version of who God truly designed you to be.
Mm. Mm. Highlight on that note, drop it.
Hey, give me an offering.
Come on, where my microphone? Do I got it? Because I'm about to drop a mic.
Where
Amen.
my offering at?
Come on. Look, they be saying you got to sew into this atmosphere when you feel it. I'm
If
like,
you got a seed, if you got a $1,200, close
right.
them doors.
Close the doors. Close the
Close the
door.
doors.
Sow into this seed. Sow into this right now. Come up here and get touched. But you'll give me $20. I said, oh, once I needed that seed. When I got time. No, I ain't
If
got
I
time.
can get 20 people, say.
People, you could give me $2,500. We'd be all right. Listen, Lord. Courtney, this has been so fruitful. Not I don't think you know that you was talking to me as well because I am going through a season like I feel like I was always visible. Now I need to be hidden to really get the operations flowing because I got to steward what I have well. You feel me? So I'm just grateful for you just being able to speak not only to me but to the people whoever's watching. If they watching it now, if they watching it later, um, and just thank you so much for coming on here and taking out your time and
Yes.
having the capacity to give us your story. You have a story. Um, you have a story literally, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. And I'm saying this on here because I'm sure you're gonna agree with it. So the Style Lounge is coming out, y'all, which is how do you unlocking your style personality through fashion wellness. Courtney is going to be on there. Courtney's going to be an
Oh.
active person on there. We gonna have master classes. Courtney gonna be on there with her fitness stuff. I'm just telling you because this entire time I'm like,
Okay.
oh,
Okay.
like how we're talking, this is a master class, literally. And
Oh, it
people,
really is.
you know what I'm saying? People can be on here listening, asking questions. So that's what it's all about. We're gonna talk more about that offline because like I'm an intern
Yes.
flyers and then we gonna add you to the flyer and everything because this is something that I'm just like, Lord, you know, how can you use us for your glory and your kingdom? I feel like this is
Hmm.
very, very clear. And I'm like, we've already been trying to do work already, and it's
We
time.
have, we have, it's time, it's like, oh, when I say momentum, like, I've meant that in my soul, okay? Like, I know that everybody is, and this is, okay. I need
Speak.
to get off here. I know everybody that I'm attached to right in this season, and that everybody who I have come into contact with over the years, like I feel like now is the time that those were divine connections then, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even now, like right now, for me, is a time for me to figure out, not even figure out, to let the Lord like bring those connections full circle.
Mm-hmm.
It's full circle moment right now. It's like, okay, so I met you, I met you, I met you. And in the time that I met you, whoever you are, but I'm speaking to you right now, in the time that I met you, yeah, we did a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't do a thing,
Mm-hmm.
if you know what I'm saying. And it's like, okay, Lord, now I have capacity, my ears are open, my heart is open
Mm-hmm.
to do more, and to continue to pour into people, but also be connected with those people where we can pour into each other and create an overflow
Yeah.
for everyone else to come and bring their cups in, like, okay, here's that overflow, and then they'll have overflow so that they can go pour into. I'm
Mm-hmm.
preaching.
Mm-hmm.
Might as
Mm-hmm.
well call me evangelist.
I mean, come on. Look, I'm gonna say prophetess. No, we'll go over there.
Prophetess, okay then.
Jesus. No,
No, but yeah,
apostle.
we're
But
gonna do this. We're gonna do this.
we are. We are. This is so full circle. I'm just like, okay, I'm over here like, okay, Lord.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm in. Oh, girl, it's just flowing. Okay. I'm gonna put you off. I'm gonna put you off screen. I'm gonna end it, and we gonna stay on here. We gonna finish talking. Okay, y'all. So thank
Okay, we
y'all
will.
Thank Courtney so much for
Thank
joining us
y'all.
today. Thank you so much. Please tap in right real quick. Tell them where they can find you and your services and everything real quick.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at DreamLiveBU. Um, Services, my landing page will be coming up soon. However, I'll have my Calendly link if you are interested in a 20-minute consultation for one-on-one fitness training, as well as group fitness trainings. I offer group fitness trainings. I actually start a group fitness class on the 18th. So yeah, you can find me on Instagram. Hit me up in the DMs again at Dream Live Be You. And remember to dream, live, be you.
Ooh, come on. Yes, Courtney. And that's how you do it. That is how you do it. Okay, listen. Listen, y'all. Okay, hold on. Let me switch it out. Listen, that's how you do it. So, listen, Courtney, thank you so much for jumping on in here with us. I appreciate you, girl. Yes.
Yes, I appreciate you too.
I don't know. Okay, we just gonna end it like that. Hey, and if y'all got any other questions, listen. Of course, y'all can follow Kiss by Bo, which is the producer of the Payback Chronicles on Payback Chronicles, the official Payback Chronicles Instagram. Ask me underscore wife God pod on Instagram as well as that. Be tuned. Stay tuned. We go live. We go live every Thursday, but on Sunday we do solo episodes that we talk about this with just me, and then we talk about it on Thursday as well. We got about 3 more episodes, y'all. I'm tired. 3 more episodes. We gonna keep talking, but God is good. I'm so glad to be a part of what He got doing, and He in the room. He in the neighborhood, so we gonna keep it moving. Amen. Amen. Okay. Thank y'all.
Amen.
Okay. Let me